For this week's Jolt of Faith, let's concentrate on Our Lady's holiness. Again, she was conceived without original sin, and we take for granted that Mary somehow was preserved from even temptation. That's not the case. Yes, Mary was given a singular gift to be preserved from original sin so that she could be a worthy vessel. But she faced temptation just like you and I did, and she had to fight against it and strive to maintain that special gift of holiness God gave to her at the Immaculate Conception. And I think all of us can learn a lot from Mary about holiness. Sadly, most of the time, we are satisfied with just skating along. Yeah, we don't murder, we don't steal, we don't commit adultery, we don't do the big sins, but we do lots of little sins that we just kind of justify or push under the rug and think, it's not that big of a deal, I'm not as bad as that guy over there. But that wasn't Mary's attitude. Mary took a different attitude of being as holy as she could be, to constantly be improving herself, constantly striving after that holiness that God called her to. And you know what? God called you and I to that same holiness as well. We were called to be saints on the day of our baptism. But do we take that call seriously? Most of us are pretty satisfied with being mediocre Catholics at best. That's not what Mary did. And I think as we reflect on Our Lady during this month of May, she challenges us that mediocrity is not good enough. We're called to holiness. So during this month of May, let's use her not only as an example, but as an intercessor. Because Mary doesn't just set a bar that we can never reach. She helps us with her motherly love, her prayers, her inspiration to reach that bar. So let's use that powerful gift of Our Lady's intercession during this month of May to pray for a greater gift of holiness in us, that we can imitate our mother and strive after holiness as well. Earthly mothers always want what is best for their children. They always push their children to be the best they can be. And at the cross, Jesus gave Mary to each and every one of us, "Behold your mother." Our Heavenly Mother pushes us to be the best we can be spiritually as well, which means to be those saints we are called to be. Let's start cooperating and using that great gift of a mother's love so that you and I can achieve that holiness that we are called to as well. Not that sermon or that homily we're expecting, but just that little jolt of faith to get us through the week.